I'm now worse off having heard
Kevin and Bean
than I was before.
KROQ.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is about to get very confusing up here on KROQ this morning because we've got Brandon and Brendan from Sons of the Sea, ladies and gentlemen, joining us in studio here on the Kevin and Bean Show. Brandon Boyd, good morning.
Good morning.
Brendan O'Brien, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, thank you.
It's great to have you guys here. I like it. Sons of the Sea, what's up with that?
Nice general question.
What's up with that? That's a thing, right?
That's your answer.
Yeah. Brendan and I have been working together for a long time, actually. This is Brandon, by the way. This is my radio voice. We've been working together for like over 10 years making records, right? With Incubus?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Brendan's produced the past 3 Incubus records, so him and I had never actually written a song together. And so I think we kind of figured after this last Incubus record, it was time we tried.
So you're cheating on your boys, basically, is what it is.
A little bit, but it was kind of a sort of consensual.
Why are they my boys?
So that hottie at the restaurant that you've had your eye on, all of a sudden, when your friends turn their back, you're
wrong, dude. That sounds completely wrong.
This is more of a polyamorous kind of situation.
Okay,
Like,
so it's an open marriage. Everyone agrees.
Kind of an open marriage.
It's cool.
Yeah.
All right,
but we're still very much in love.
So you guys, you obviously saw musical sensibilities. So you shared some musical sensibilities, and Brendan, of course, an accomplished musician, songwriter, right?
I would say more producer than musician songwriter, but that's
but
what
you
I
do a little bit of everything.
Yeah,
right?
sure, yeah.
And so was it? I'm always curious how these things work because a lot of people get along. They've got chemistry as people, but you sometimes don't know if that's going to translate when it comes to creating music. So was there any awkwardness at all when you kind of flipped the switch on the relationship and said, okay, now let's try. I know we're comfortable doing this over here. Now let's try this over there.
Not really.
I don't think so. We've known each other for so long. And from my position, there's a sort of a rule in my head that anytime a really good singer wants to do something with you, you just say yes. That's very difficult to find, and you just go, okay, let's see what happens here. And Brandon happens to be a fairly normal guy when it comes to just like showing up on time and being like decent person, which is also difficult to find. So.
Right.
And I've always teased people. You can't have people you work with because they're easy to deal with. You have to deal with them because they're talented and they can bring something and all that kind of stuff. So, Homeboy kind of does both. But I think from right away, it seemed like fun. The first song we did seemed like like, okay, that sounds like fun. Let's do some more.
There's a song called Lady Black that was the first song we actually wrote down together.
And you said this works.
Yeah. It just seemed like fun. It seemed like this is easy, or not necessarily easy, but. Well, it is kind of easy when you think about it. This stuff's kind of easy. So
it's not torture.
It's not torture.
Yeah.
I've had real
Brendan,
jobs.
Yeah.
For folks who, and let's face it, there's not much in the way of liner notes anymore. People may not be as aware of the credits on a record like they used to be back when there was
truth.
So people who don't know Brendan O'Brien's name haven't been paying attention because you've produced everyone from Bruce Springsteen to Pearl Jam, Rage Against the Machine, The Killers, Offspring, Incubus, of course. I mean, you've been around doing this for a long time. How long has it been since you've been in a band, though?
I always look at it, a long time. This is really Brandon's thing. I'm here to help him, but it's I think might have been 21 years old or 22 because I had kids pretty much my entire adult life, and once I had kids and stuff and. I discovered the studio. It was over. I was never going back. So,
but you've played with a lot of people live.
Strictly stadiums and television.
Stadiums and television.
That's pretty much that. Yeah.
You may have seen Brendan on stage or on television with the likes of Pearl Jam, Bob Dylan, Bruce Springsteen, stuff like that.
You were part of that infamous concert at Wrigley Field this past summer with Pearl Jam.
I did. They invited me up, and it was a lot of fun.
That was the one with the crazy rain delay where nobody.
It was actually a lightning delay. There was like lightning striking the flags and stuff. So that was a bummer.
Looked like one of the most unbelievable concerts to ever be at, though, and the fact that it all eventually came together. I mean, you guys must have just been so happy when you were able to play.
Well, I was definitely, it wasn't my thing. I was just a friend and hanging out and all that kind of stuff. They were very relieved that they were able to go back on because it was like an hour and a half, maybe a couple hour delay. I don't know. It was a long time, and nobody left. And they worked it out. By the time they went back on, it was like 1 a.m. or something, or midnight or whatever. And they worked it out in the neighborhood and stuff. But Yeah, it's hard to get me to go to a show at all at this point.
Invite you to play, then
So I hung out. I was a good soul. I hung out most of the time, and by the time I got back to the hotel, my family came with me. It was about 3:30 in the morning. So
Wow, that's crazy.
It was fun.
So Brandon, so you guys sit down, you write that first song together, and you go, "Hey, this is pretty cool." Was the idea always we're going to create a whole record, or was it just like, I mean, or did that just kind of come to you after you realized you had plenty of songs?
That second thing you said.
Okay.
You know, I don't think that we necessarily had a plan. The only plan was just to kind of get in the studio as often as we could and
enjoy it.
And enjoy it and see what happened, you know. There was no time schedule, there's no label. It was just kind of good fun, you know.
I'm going to go on record saying I've never had a plan making a record, so
you can't really.
Yeah, it's this kind of is the same sort of thing. Let's just see how the first couple go, and then we'll do a few more, and then if he wants to do something else, do something else. But then it seemed to keep going, and
do you feel, Brandon, like these songs are a lot different than the songs you write with Incubus?
Yeah, you know, there's obvious through lines, but I think that the things that kind of differentiate it are sort of, you know, when I'm writing lyrics and writing melodies and things like that, a lot of the time I'm reacting to sort of musical landscapes that are presented. And, you know, my writing partner, Michael Einziger, he just has a very different sort of stylistic approach and aesthetic approach to writing music.
And people seem to like it.
And people dig it, and I dig it, and it's really fun to write with, and you know, we've had a long and fruitful career, and I'm excited to write with him more. So this kind of, I think it brought out some different things in me, because the sort of architect I was working with was very different, was referencing different things. So
we're talking to Brandon Boyd here on the Kevin Bean Show, along with Brendan O'Brien. They're in the band called Sons of the Sea. The album is available everywhere today, by the way, for download or in stores. They're going to be performing live for us here in a couple minutes. If it's not too dumb a question, where'd the name come from?
Sons of the Sea.
Where does any name come from? It's you strike about 50 out that you can't use, and then one ends up being one you can use.
Comes from the ethers.
You tweeted the first video for Come Together last night.
Yes.
And I know, Boyd, is that what we're looking at here? Is that what's happening on this video?
You're definitely looking at sexy Brandon Boyd.
Okay.
With an attractive model. I know there.
That's so shocking and weird. I can't believe that's happening.
Shocking, I know.
So odd.
I see that there are
some right to me.
Some special effects happening. I know that the way some of the stuff is shot, but it kind of also looks like it was done in one take. So it confused me, Brandon.
It is one take. We had a finite amount of. It's called the material that you see. Filling up the basin is called methyl cellulose, I think it's called, and it's like a vegetable powder.
Dude, movie magic. Don't just say too much.
It looks like milk.
It looks like you're taking a milk bath. Yeah.
Wow. It looks like milk. Anyway, we had people sort of pouring it in all around us the whole time, and it was filling up, and so we only had enough milk, quote unquote, for 3 takes. So we just took the best one. The one that you see was sort of the best of the 3. So it was one take, yeah.
It's very cool.
Thank you.
Very
so
cool.
Let me get this right. It's you and a hot model in a bath of milk.
Yes.
Okay.
There's some interesting, if you will, some metaphors about, because the thing is filling up the whole time.
No, I get it.
And so, and by the end of it, it consumes
I get it
us.
100%.
Yeah.
And scene.
There's nothing I don't get about this.
Right.
I sort of have a boner.
Whoa. Hey, easy.
Sons of the Sea is the album. Brandon and Brendan are here. They are going to go into the other room and perform live. Have you played live together anywhere before, guys?
No, not really.
Okay.
We've been playing a lot together recently, but we're getting ready for tomorrow night. We're going to be on TV.
Like I said, television and any
You're
stadium.
doing Mr. Kimmel's show, right?
Yeah, we'll be on Kimmel.
Any television or stadium shows you're doing, I'm going to be there for them.
Awesome. I plan on only doing TV and stadiums for this project. So
hey, it's worked for Brendan for a long time.
Yeah.
And by the way, Jimmy had Paul McCartney on last night, Justin Timberlake tonight, you guys tomorrow night. So that's a week. You got some good opening acts.
We're sort of the headliner this week.
All right, some live music from Sons of the Sea. They are here at the world famous KROQ. We are so excited, honored that you guys chose to come on by and play for us today. So we'll hear what that sounds like right after this on the Kevin and Bean Show.
KROQ. It was horrible and inexcusable, and I might have to go to therapy because of this.
The Kevin and Bean Show.
In all honesty, I cannot usually recommend listening to the Kevin and Bean Show, but today I think you made the right choice because we got some very special guests in our studio, Brandon Boyd and Brendan O'Brien from a little band called Sons of the Sea. The album is available everywhere in stores and for download today, and what I've heard is awesome. We're going to hear a couple of live songs. What do you want to do first here, boys?
We have a song called Lady Black we're going to play for you. It's actually the first song that we wrote together.
Okay.
Goes a little bit something like this.
I was young, colorful, saw a girl, a double back, was she the one? Lady Black, cigarette, she rolls her own, I should have known, would you care to come and talk?
I'm going to call that a success. There you go. Yeah. Sons of the Sea. Here on the Kevin and Bean Show, Calabasas' own Brandon Boyd and Brendan O'Brien from Atlanta, Georgia today. Again, the record available everywhere today. They'll be on Jimmy Kimmel Live tomorrow night. You can do another one for us. I think Come Together, the single, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Love it.
All right.
You float into the room, a ruffled feather, a hint of your perfume is a comely tether. Give back my heart you stole, chase down the rabbit hole, it's undebatable.
Yeah! How about a song with a whistling solo, everybody? Come on. Not enough of those.
And a broken guitar string. It's all right.
That is the acoustic version of a couple of songs from the debut from Sons of the Sea. Hear what they sound like with the whole band with the self-titled album available everywhere today. By the way, Brendan O'Brien, please notice when they went to make the video for that song Come Together, nope, your phone wasn't ringing to roll around in the tub of milk with the model. Please notice that.
That was the first, actually, idea. He wasn't
What's
really
that,
down.
Brendan doing?
Brendan and
I'm
Brandon.
just going on
in the
record
tub.
saying no one called me about that.
All right.
Exactly.
We're gonna do a
Boys,
sequel.
that was super fun. Thanks so much for coming by KROQ today. We really appreciate it.
Thanks
you
for
so
having
much.
us.